Of the Natural Resource Committee. If everyone will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, public notification of this meeting has been published, posted, and distributed in compliance with the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act. Confirm that. Thank you, Ms. Owen. All right, I'd like to have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved, Madam Chairman.
I have a motion by Councilman Glover. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, a second by Councilman Cunningham. All right. Without objection, the agenda is approved. We had the minutes from May 2nd in your packet. Do I hear a motion to approve those minutes from May 2nd?
So moved, Madam Chairman.
All right, Councilman Glover makes a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll join him again.
Okay, and we have a second by Councilman Cunningham. And just so the public knows, we do have a quorum because the chairman is an ex officio member of every committee, so we are good to go. All right, citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens' comments? None were brought in. All right. No citizens' comments. The first item on the agenda is to recommend approval for a grant to fund a portion of the Hilton Head Island Airport Terminal Improvements Project. The grant opportunity is an airport improvement program grant through the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA. This is a grant for $11 million, $1 million annual entitlement funds, and $10 million discretionary funds. The sponsor match is $861,111. Who will be speaking to this? Oh, okay, Mr. Rimbaugh, thank you.
Good afternoon. Just to keep everything exciting, we figured we'd bring an airport item to natural resources.
Right.
So thank you for having us at this
Yes,
meeting,
sir.
though. This is an important item to bring forward because we do want to go ahead and apply for this grant. And just for a little bit of background, or just as a recap, the way this works is it's related to the terminal project. And if you may remember, the FAA has already granted one $10 million grant for the terminal, and that has gotten us started on the design and everything. That project is now out for bid. So it's actively being bid by contractors, and we intend to open those bids in about 2 weeks. And then what the FAA said was, in order for them to basically make this second $10 million grant available to the airport for this funding opportunity, that we had to open those bids before July the 10th of this year. So that's why we're on the schedule we're on. And that's why we're coming to you for the approval to apply for this, just in anticipation of opening those bids and then being able to execute on that timeline. That's why we're here.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions from other council members? Councilman Logan or Chairman Passmont?
One quick question is, John, have we received a number of bids?
Well, we have not opened bids yet, sir, so we're still actively in that process.
Okay, but we are going to get multiple bids?
I certainly hope so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. If there are no other questions, we need to move this forward. I need a motion to approve or deny the application for this project and move it forward to full council on June 13th. Okay, Councilman Cunningham makes a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
Councilman Glover makes a second. Without objection, this will move forward to full council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. The number 8 on the agenda is recommendation of approval of an ordinance authorizing the county administrator to execute the necessary documents and provide funding for the purchase of real property at identified as 3600 Road for the Hilton Head Airport expansion project. The purchase price is $947,500, and this is part of a grant reimbursement. Is that correct? And you're going to speak to this one.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. This is another one, and if just in case Brittany needs to jump in, she can, because she's worked on the ordinance for us. But basically what this is, it's the fifth of the 5 properties that the airport was acquiring along Hunter Road as part of that campus expansion for the terminal, for parking, and the associated infrastructure that goes along with that expansion and kind of redevelopment. And so this one, actually, the timing is pretty good on this because since the bipartisan infrastructure law was signed last November, this project now qualifies for funding under that. So what'll happen is we'll have a little bit faster reimbursement on this property purchase. So we will use, the airport will apply for $814,500 through the BIL. And then the rest of that is a match that the airport has got budgeted in for this year, for
And they'll-
23.
Okay, and BIL is for the.
That is the bipartisan infrastructure law.
Okay, just for the public's information.
Yes.
Anyone have some questions? I have one question, but Councilman Glover, you have a question?
Oh, I thought you might, what size of property is this? I know you said it's the fifth of, the last of the 5 projects that you were purchasing. So I didn't see the acreage size on this.
Okay, the acreage on this one, if I remember correctly, is about 2 3/4 acres in size. And a portion of it is vacant, unused. And then a portion of it is actually being used by Avis Budget Rental Car Company as a rental car cleaning kind of turnaround facility. And that's another, I'm glad you asked that question, because the other aspect of this purchase is that post-purchase, the county will be able to enter into a lease or offer a lease to Avis Budget so they can continue to operate on that property for, some period of time. It's unknown. We know it'll be at least 12 months, but it could very well be longer than that, which is good for their company. It's good for the airport and it's good for the county because the county will recognize some revenue there.
Were they paying lease already? Were they renting that already?
They're currently renting it from the
The
current
owner.
property owner. Once the county purchases that, then we'll have a new lease with budget.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Chairman Passmit or Councilman Cunningham, do you have any questions? And is the a proposed purchase price based on a recent appraisal, or how is that determined?
Yes, good question. It is based on an appraisal that was finished this year. So it was January, February timeframe. We did an appraisal and then a review appraisal as required by the FAA.
Okay. All right, any other questions? I'd like to entertain a motion to go forward with this to full council on June 13th. If someone will make a motion,
So moved, Madam Chairman.
I will
Councilman,
second that.
Councilman Glover made the motion and Councilman Cunningham second the motion. All right, so that will go forward. All right.
Thank
I
you.
think that's it for Mr. Rimbaugh. Thank you. Number 9 is recommend approval of a resolution to allocate hospitality tax funds for the emergency repair of the Sands Boat Landing with hospitality tax revenues not to exceed $177,000. Yes,
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. A few weeks ago, I got a picture from Mayor DeVito and Van Willis with Town of Port Royal showing that the Sands boat dock had basically lifted out of some hinges and had buckled up vertically into the air. And so we immediately looked into the situation, determined it was going to be a significant amount of money. But due to the inability for the public to use that boat that boat dock in the town of Port Royal, authorized the emergency expenditure of hospitality tax in the amount that was necessary to fix that. We've done a temporary repair to it, but this money would authorize the complete fix. What happens in this particular case is sediment builds up in the sands, and if you don't keep it wiped out from underneath those docks, at some point the sediment builds up to the point that causes the damage. We have not done any sediment removal there because of the previous situation that you all are aware of about the maintenance for property we don't own, or boat landings we do not own. So that's what caused the problem, so authorized the fix. We notified you all at the last council meeting of this situation, and you all asked me to bring forth a resolution to just, solidify and make what I had done totally legal. And that's what we're doing here today. But this would be to approve an expenditure of $177,000 or not exceed that amount for us fixing the dock head in the town of Port Royal.
Will that include the removal of the sediment under, or will that be another fix?
Well, based on my recent authorization to staff to continue to maintain boat landings, whether we own them or not, until we can get all the agreements in place.
Yes.
We're going to continue to do that, but we have cleaned out the sediment now, and we will continue to do that maintenance. And we are, as reported a few weeks ago, working with the new owners of the port property and the Sands Boat Landing and the town of Port Royal to make sure that we get the appropriate agreements in place for us to continue to do that maintenance inside the town of Port Royal on the Sands Boat Landing and that dock.
Very good. Very, very appreciative of that. We have any questions? Councilman Cunningham or Chairman Passament? I'm very appreciative of that getting started quickly. Was probably one of the most heavily used boat landings in northern Beaufort County, if not one of the. So thank you. We need a motion to approve that resolution to solidify that.
I'll second, man.
Okay, Councilman Cunningham made the motion, and it was seconded by Councilman Glover. All right, moving right along to number 10. This is recommend approval of an award for a non-competitive contract with the University of South Carolina Beaufort for the water quality lab work they have done for many years for the county. This is $170,000 for the annual services. And Mr. Desai is going to speak to that award.
Chairman, as you may know, USCB Laboratory has been conducting our laboratory testing for almost 10 years.
10
This
years,
is
okay.
almost 10. This is a continuation of that contract.
Okay.
The additional information is the other municipalities participate, and so there's a cost share with that.
Okay.
That's split up, so.
Is that the total contract, not counting, their split is in that total number?
That's correct. Their split is based on municipality population.
Yes, sir. Okay. Any questions?
I just got one quick question.
Yes, sir.
The Sinhala sound is part of that, right?
That's correct.
Yes, okay. It doesn't say where they're testing, but the Sinhala sound is part of that test.
That's correct. What we're looking at is the DHEC stationings that are impaired currently, and we're looking at all the pollutants of concern, whether they're fecal or dissolved oxygen and so forth. And we're trying to make sure that the water quality levels that come out of those stations are either low so we can get them off that list.
Now, the Port Royal sound is also included in that,
That's
right?
good. This is all of Beaufort County.
All of Beaufort County?
Yes.
Like May River too?
May River, Okeechobee, and whatnot. Again, the town of Bluffton enters into and has sites that they specify to USCB as well,
Oh, okay.
as well as the city of Beaufort.
Okay,
This is countywide.
gotcha.
Do
Okay.
sampling on Battery Creek, I think.
Yeah,
too,
yep,
right?
absolutely. Both us and the city have a couple
They have
sites.
sites here.
Okay, I missed that.
Are there
Go
any
ahead.
other
Thank you.
questions, Councilman Cunningham or Chairman Passman? Entertain a motion to, this one has to go to the full county for approval. So, we make a motion, Councilman Glover?
Yes, I will.
Do I hear a second?
I will.
Okay, Councilman Cunningham, all right, we'll move this one on up to county council for approval.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 11, you're gonna do that one too, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is recommend approval of an award for the Shell Point Drainage Improvement Project Consultant for the design, engineering, permitting to J. Bragg Consulting. And the dollar amount is $800,000 from the FY '23 stormwater utility budget.
Yes, ma'am. J-Bragg was shortlisted from 3 consultants. This is phase 2 of the project, which includes permitting and construction documents, as well as closeout of the project. As we, once this is approved and enter into contract negotiations, we'll have a final price of what that it will cost for them to create those documents and see us through the process.
And I know this has been through the Stormwater Board and they gave approval for it. How long is the contract for? 2 years or 3? I couldn't remember.
I believe it was 2, it might be 3.
Okay.
I can check.
Well, that's okay. I couldn't. Any questions from other council members?
Well, actually a question.
Yes.
Will the money for this become reimbursable through the BIO? Because I know that stormwater is a big thing in the bipartisan legislation. And this is a stormwater project.
Will it be reimbursable for, we couldn't quite hear for what?
Any of the money that
Oh.
we're going to be expending for this project, might it be reimbursable through the BIO?
So maybe not specific for the BIL, but we have applied for a few grants and we're waiting to hear back from them. So hopefully we do get some reimbursement back that'll offset the cost for this contract.
Didn't they apply for some state funding?
Yep.
So that might be a possibility if it comes through.
Correct.
Okay.
Because I recall when we met with Congressman Clyburn, stormwater was a big issue, and that there are funds available for stormwater projects. We need to follow up. And, Jared and Eric were at the same meeting, so we can see if they heard the same thing I heard.
And also, I think another Congressman Mace had mentioned there might be possible funding, but it has to go through the Senate. It was an earmark.
Yeah, and this is designed, so the construction will be where we really try to capture dollars.
Okay.
And if there's any opportunity for reimbursement, we'll look at that. But right now,
This is design.
design, and it'll take us a while to get design ready with permits, so we'll have more opportunities to find some additional funding for.
This project will take a lot of hard work on permitting, I'm sure, because of the impact to salt and freshwater wetlands. But I know the initial study was excellent and identified those areas where that needs to be done. I'd like to entertain a motion to move this forward to recommend, and it has to go to full county council due to the amount of money.
So move.
All right, Councilman Glover. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you, Councilman Cunningham. And thank you, Mr. Desai, that's great. All right, the next one is appointments. This is a record time for a natural resource meeting. Recommend approval of the appointment of Edward Warner to the Stormwater Management Board for a 4-year term with expiration date of 2026.
I'll move, Madam Chairman.
All right, thank you, Councilman Cunningham. Do I have a second?
A second. You don't want to take both of those?
Let's do them together. The other one is approval of Percy Berry to the Beaufort Jasper Water Sewer Authority Board for a 6-year term with an expiration date of 2028.
Oh, thanks for all. Motion that as well.
All right, we will include him in that motion. And second,
Yes.
Councilman Glover? Without objection, these will move forward to full council. Is there any other business for the Natural Resource Committee this afternoon? Yes, sir?
Just have one
Yeah.
additional thing. Just want to point out to council and to those who watching today that this day and this period, the last 2 days, do not go without memory. This commemorates the D-Day invasion that turned the tide in World War II for our country to and our allies to take control of the areas that were previously controlled by Nazi Germany. We lost many lives in that battle, but it was a turning point in war and resulted in the Nazis surrendering to the Allied troops within the year after this period of time. So just wanted to make that announcement and let everyone out there who might have families or who might have served know that we appreciate their service, particularly in that particular battle and invasion. It must have been a difficult period of time for them to do that invasion, but we're greatly appreciative of it.
And thank you for bringing that up. I know a lot of us had fathers and uncles and others in World War II, and we appreciate you bringing that up.
Thank you.
All right. If there's no other business, we'll adjourn the meeting. Natural Resources, thank you.
23 minutes.